Greetings. Welcome to the Reverend Theatre. I'm your host, Marcus Skinner. Now, I'm not the sort of man who surfs the internet a lot, but often enough that I know better than to refer to it as the interwebs, or to believe that when membership offers to monkeylovers.com or letters from the King of Zimbabwe requesting that I cash his paycheck for him show up in my email, that it's a good thing. So, you can imagine my surprise when the other day, as my assistant surfed the internet while I looked over her shoulder and told her what to click for me, that we came upon an article regarding net neutrality, a topic that until now I'd heard nothing about. Now, my initial response to net neutrality was so powerful that I knew I had to share it with all of you. So, after having my assistant read several more articles regarding the topic and watch a variety of videos about it, and paraphrase it all down into a 2-minute speech for me, I felt that I was ready to give you what I believe is a very well-informed opinion regarding net neutrality. Now, it seems that Internet Service Providers, or ISPs as they're called, are trying to set up a tiered internet access, whereby you pay depending on how much access you get to the internet. So on the bottom might be more common and profitable things like online shopping, and at the top might be less profitable things backed not by corporations but by people like, say, blogs or YouTube. Now, the argument against this tiered access is that the sites that have less money and less political influence, like, say, blogs and YouTube, would eventually be killed off because no one would be willing to pay to access them. And no one would be willing to make any content for them anymore because, let's face it, no one's going to see it. So, after listening to my assistant babble on and on and on about tiered networking for that entire excruciating 2 minutes, I can honestly tell you that I believe that tiered networking, tiered internet access, is a fantastic idea. What? You must be joking. Not at all, and allow me to give you several reasons explaining why. Please do. Thank you. For starters, as we all know, the internet was invented by a variety of corporations, including AOL, Time Warner, and Comcast, in order to better help people shop and transfer their money between their various banking institutions. What? That's ridiculous. Everyone knows the internet was made by the military and then used in a variety of colleges for research before it was finally used by corporations and sold to individuals at high prices. Lies. All lies. Created by those damned net hippies. Pfft. As if anything but a corporation could have created the internet. That's ludicrous. No, that's ludicrous. The internet became what it is today because of the community willing to make it better. May I please continue? You may. But... He has a right. Thank you. Now, as I was saying, as we all know, the internet was created by corporations, so it only seems right that they be the ones who govern what kind of content we see on it and how much we have to pay for it. But that's not the only reason that I have. As we all know, the internet is a series of tubes, like this PVC pipe, for instance. Where did you get that? From under the sink. Well, that would explain all the water. Indeed. Now, as I was saying, the internet is similar to this tube. Of course, the internet isn't made out of tubes like this. It's made out of these tubes. Now, as everyone knows, when you send information on the internet, a tiny printing of that information is made and pushed along one of these tubes, similar to old pneumatic tubes. And when it reaches its destination, it's scanned, displayed on the screen, and destroyed. Which, of course, is why the man who repairs my computer charges me $40 a month to replace my modem paper. He doesn't actually believe that, does he? I believe so. Of course, since the real printouts and the real internet tube would be far too tiny to be of any use in this demonstration, we'll use this tube to represent the internet. And this picture of porn star Lexi Bell to represent internet porn. Now, when you take Lexi Bell and you roll her up along with her non-God-fearing corporation that funds her, and stuff her pert, luscious young body into the internet, it plugs it up, making it impossible to get any money through it. So the corporations can't get their money through. The corporations who created the internet, mind you. And don't even try to order something cheap online, because if that 20's not getting through, there's no way these coins are. Unbelievable. Shh. I don't think he's done yet. Best thing I've seen all year. Of course, the greatest threat to the internet isn't internet porn. The absolute greatest threat to the tube, the one thing that plugs it up every year with tons and tons of unnecessary content, keeping the corporations that created it from pushing their money back and forth across it the way it was meant to be, is none other than social networking. That's right. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, and the worst of all, YouTube, represented here by Karen Alloy and Lisa Nova. And of course, the entire freaking YouTube community, every year spewing out more and more unnecessary content, unnecessary free content, making absolute no money on the tube. So when we take all of this unnecessary content and roll it up, Twitter, like I really want to know what you ate today. Come on, YouTube, what do I want to see you? Come on, what movies were you in? How much do you make a year? Then why do I care? You roll it up, and you stick it in the internet tube. It clogs it completely. Not only does it clog it, it continuously produces more content to clog it, like a giant cat constantly shedding more and more hair into the internet tube. Forget about getting Lexi Bell and her at least money-making performances through the tube. Not a chance. And the money? No way. Not gonna happen. So that, my friends, is why I am against net neutrality and for tiered networking, so we can finally get rid of all this unnecessary free content by destroying net neutrality and setting in tiered networking so that money can once again pass through the tube the way it was meant to be. Just imagine a tube filled with content that you pay for, that you pay a lot for, in order to enjoy seeing extremely overpaid actors. And then finally, you can take this rolled up cocaine smeared 20 and pass it through the tube the way it was meant to be. There it is. Gotta go snort some coke.